And now, taping in front of a live studio audience, Cocinando con Elena! Yay! You can't see, I talked Okay, go.
Are you still taping? Welcome to Cooking with Elena. Tonight, special at 11:48 on Saturday, October 8th, we have monster cookies.
Ooh!
Yay! We're going to feed you food. And first, with the lovely KitchenAid sponsor, one of our proud sponsors, KitchenAid. This is kind of a retro version. So you take the bowl and you twist it onto the thing so it's nice and firm. And then you cream the butter. Kind of cream the butter slowly. We need to add the sugar. We'll turn this off. So the butter is creamed. Now that the camera is quite close to my face, we are going to add 1½ cups brown sugar. And we here at the Casa 1258 like to use a little bit of everything and then leave the rest of it in a bag. So we have quite a few contributors to our brown sugar extravaganza this evening. Number 1, Kroger, which I think may be from Liz Burling because she is the only state that uses Kroger.
That's going to be 3 years old.
Yeah, maybe vintage. Then we have Country Delight brown sugar. Seems to be a little bit of a different color brown sugar. Alright. And then
the M&Ms are for later. This is our live studio audience.
We have, dark brown sugar from Dominick's. Ooh, this is going to be fun.
Pretty.
So pretty. Dominick's. Should call the brand. Please, we're going to pause for commercial break.
Oh, recording, go.
You need your very own Natalie doll!
Life size! She giggles when you poke her.
And she's real lifelike. Look at her movements.
And you can do her hair. Get your own Natalie doll! Today!
Welcome back from the commercial break. And while you were out, I have a few new things to introduce to you. Here I have my assistant, Brian! And now, actually while you were gone, we started cooking a little bit more, and we have creamed the butter and the sugars. So the brown sugar and white sugar is now creamed with the butter. And we're going to add some things. So if you can't hear me when I'm speaking, when I turn it on, this is what I'll be doing. So to this mixture, we are going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Next, by my lovely assistant, we will be adding eggs. Eggs from chicken.
Which one came first?
I don't know, one of the mysteries of the world. Egg 2. Also from chicken. Egg 3. Make sure the salmonella goes right on your apron. Okay, we're going to step this up a notch. Be careful to scrape the sides with your spatula. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Now, before I add the next ingredient, I'm going to teach you a little history lesson. Or history? It's going to be physics, actually. This one will be the physics of displacement. And what we do with displacement, instead of mucking up a 1-cupper with the peanut butter, you take the same amount of the peanut butter, or the fat which you have, which could be Crisco, and have a cup of water. So we're going to need 1 cup of peanut butter, which means 1 cup of water. And then when the peanut butter goes up to the 2-cup line, that means we've had 1 cup of peanut butter. So this looks like about a cup. We put it in the water. Is it up to the 2? Not quite. So that was like 1 3/4. So we'll put this in to cream, which means we need 1/4 peanut butter. Don't mind the remnant. And since this peanut butter looks like it was actually predated to the 17th century, we're going to just use the rest of it. So,
the date on the thing was July 14th.
So some of the ways that I like cooking is jazz cooking, which means you have the recipe, but you just add things as you go along. So we're now creaming the peanut butter. Might as well take this little nutter butter that's hanging out in the water and put that in there too. We're going to kick that up a notch, get that creamy. Next thing that we're going to be adding are the dry ingredients. Brian here is going to help me be dry.
Oatmeal.
So in order to make things rise, what are we going to add to it, Brian?
Baking soda.
Good. Slowly we will add the oatmeal. Brian, would you like to take small scoops of oatmeal and add them to our KitchenAid mixer?
I would love to.
As it's mixing, we will add the oatmeal. This is a slow, tedious, and very important process. Which could go faster.
Does any of our studio audience have any questions for Elena?
I have a question. How do you know your oven is hot enough?
Actually, sometimes we have our studio audience members test it. She's gonna fry you! Or we get motion sickness. And then we know when our oven is preheated when you put your hand in it gently and you can feel the heat. Ooh, hot! And we've preheated our oven to 400 degrees.
Hot tea for later in case you want to.
Okay? So as this is mixing, we see that some things need to start to build on the side. So we're going to turn it off and flip it to open. And go like this and spatula. And get the things down from the side so that it's all incorporated. Kids Incorporated.
That was such a good show.
Welcome to the final step of Monster Cookies with Ellen and Brian. And what we're going to do now is take our batter, which we have now mixed with the butter and the sugar, and the eggs, and the vanilla, and the peanut butter, and the oatmeal, and the baking powder. Take this, sorry for the noise, and gently stir using your hand, in 1/2 cup chocolate chips.
Ooh.
Ah.
Yummy.
And
Yum, too.
So it's important to keep a few onions for the top of the cookies so that they look pretty.
And to eat by the producer.
So then we hand stir them, kind of mixing in incorporation, if you will. And this is the time really to get your frustrations out, because you can just dig into the dough and really let it have it. Sometimes you can pretend it's some guy that you've loved forever and turns out to be an asshole. Or no, that's not Corey. Corey's some guy who loses his memory and doesn't know who you are. We're talking about the Pollock. The Polish boy who's now like moving right next door to you, but really just needs to be hit in the face with a spatula.
And thrown into the ocean.
Watch the video.
Oh, whoops.